What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode. Today we're going to be taking a look at all of that stuff there. I'm going to be showing you guys the basic stuff that you need to know, kind of the gear you need to have and everything if you wanted to go film fishing videos. So basically nowadays everyone and their brother is going out doing fishing videos. So kind of here is the gear that you need if you want to make this stuff. I'm not going to talk as much about creating them and everything because that's all personally up to you guys, how you do it, you film, edit, everything like that. That's all up to you guys, and the more you do different, the better it is, kind of. But anyways, here is the gear that you need if you want to do it, and I'm going to break this down into 4 categories. We've got camera, audio, we've got batteries and kind of electricity, power, whatever you want to call it, and then mounts. So let's get started with cameras. So nowadays you guys are lucky. Basically all you need really to film videos is your cell phone. It's an awesome way to film, especially like the newer phones and stuff. I've got an old iPhone, so it's not as good. However, the new iPhones, stuff like that, have awesome cameras built into them already. So luckily for you guys, wherever you walk, go fishing, anything like that, you always have a camera that's pretty decent on you. You can get a couple accessories, but it's not great, but you always have a camera with you, so that kind of gets your B-roll. You can get anything like that. However, if I had to choose one camera for filming fishing videos that you really need to have like a looping feature and stuff, that would be the GoPro. As you can see here, I've got a couple different ones. The main ones that I like are these here, the GoPro Hero 4. This is the silver edition with the touchback screen on it. That's really nice because you can really easily, quickly set up all of your videos. Still got some pretty good quality on it. And that's the one I use most of the time. I've got the 1, 2, 3 here. And I just picked up last week this one here. This is the Hero 5 Session. So I really haven't had a chance to use that one yet, but we'll see how that one works. And then the other stuff that I use, right here, what I'm filming on right now is my DSLR. This is the Nikon D5500. I'll put a picture right here, you can imagine it or whatever, but I've got that. Right now I have an 18-55 lens on there. That's a good one for all around. You don't really need crazy zoom when you're making fishing videos. However, if you wanted, you can get extra lenses for it and stuff, which is cool. And then the other stuff for it is I've got it on a Joby Gorillapod. I'll put another picture up here somewhere of what that is. And then the shotgun microphone is a Rode VideoMic Pro, and I've got a deadcat on there too to create better audio and stuff. But the nice thing about having a DSLR is that you can set it up how you want, get accessories for it, and really get that extra crisp quality for your videos, which is really nice for kind of those detailed fish shots, B-roll, everything like that. And then the third kind of camera that we have is the drone here. And this one, I'm not really going to go too much detail into it because you can find tons of information. You guys have probably already seen it. Is the DJI Mavic Pro. It's a nice fold-up drone, so it's nice. You can fit it in the boat and everything. And it is easily stored there. It's nice and small compared to other drones and gets some incredible shots. So that is the camera, basically ins and outs for fishing. Like I said, cell phone you can use. GoPro is probably the #1 camera I would choose if you had to have one camera for fishing. Now the next most important thing for filming, especially fishing, you're on the water for a long time and everything, you need to have a way to have power to fuel your cameras and everything and keep them rolling throughout the day so you can get those awesome hook sets and everything that you can't really time, which is really important with fishing. So some of the stuff that I use for that is gonna be, I've got a bunch here, external battery powers. I think this one's like 2,000 milliamps. 4,000 actually. Just a nice little one you can throw in your pocket. I use that one to charge my cell phone a lot. And then we've got 2 bigger ones. These are each like 10 or 11,000 milliamps of power. You can plug a couple devices into these ones, which is cool. So that gives you extra power. You can throw those in your pocket or your boat, whatever you need, and plug GoPros or other cameras, cell phones into those while you're fishing. This one is actually a new one I've got. I haven't had a chance to use it, but it's a Cobra. This is 6,000 milliamps, and this is actually a solar powered charger here. So as you can see, just open it up and you've got solar there. You can plug 2 devices into this one. I think it might be waterproof too, not really sure. Hopefully I don't have to try that, but it's a nice little one. And my idea with this one was, even though it's a smaller power outage, I thought it'd be cool because you could constantly have it set in your boat, charging from the sun while you're out there, and not really have to worry about running out of juice in one of these or something. However, I really don't know because I haven't tried it yet. But that folds out nice too, kind of bigger, but the idea with the solar charger and everything is pretty cool, so it might be worth it. And then we've got a bunch of GoPro batteries here. Certain cameras, like if you have a chest cam, hat cam, something like that, you don't want to have a wire getting in your way all day, especially if you're casting and stuff. So always have a bunch of extra batteries. I have basically 3 for every GoPro. I think I've got a couple more somewhere, but these are the Smatree batteries that I use. I'll leave a link to a bunch of this stuff in the video description below, but those are nice for always switching out throughout the day, especially in your cameras that are in like a waterproof case. Like I use this case here for underwater footage and stuff, so you can't always have a cord going into every camera that you have because then it wouldn't be waterproof. But anyways, so extra batteries for the GoPro itself is always nice. Then I always carry a bunch of these around, just power stuff, as well as like an extra power strip for if you're at a boat launch or you're at a restaurant getting food or something, or hotels afterwards, whatever it might be. You always got to have stuff to power up your GoPros, batteries, everything like that in a hurry, so you can always plug them all in at once. Then we've got like the USB ports. I always, like in the Lund, it's got a couple 12-volt ports itself to cigarette lighters, but I also, in this little boat here, the battery case, the 12-volt to start the motor and trolling motor and stuff, the battery case for that has a outlet that you can plug these into and charge your GoPros, which is really sweet. So that's always something important to have. You can also charge them in the truck on your way to the spot or whatever, so that's always important. And then we've got some extra batteries here. These are for the like the camera on the DSLR here, as well as other kind of accessories and stuff that I have for filming, mostly audio stuff. And then here I've got another wall charger, but this one plugs a bunch of USBs in, 10 of them, so it's really sweet. You don't have to carry as many of these around depending on how many things you need to plug in that have USB ports. And then just a bunch of cords. So that's basically all of the charging stuff that you're gonna need for filming. Now the final thing for filming is gonna be your mounts and stuff. There's all kinds of mounts you can get, and it really depends on what you want for the way you fish, whether you're fishing in a boat from shore, if your boat's kind of like the bigger one, the Lund there. I don't fish or mount cameras the exact same way as I do on this boat, but it really depends kind of on the style of fishing, and it's kind of something you can adapt to as you go. But here are some of the basic mounts that I use for filming, fishing in the boats and stuff, which I do most often. So obviously we've got stuff like the head mount from GoPro and the chest mount. Always, if you buy a chest mount, buy the GoPro ones, because the cheap ones are junk and they break right away. They're always super small, so get the nice ones for that. The other stuff I use is basically all kind of cheap stuff that you can buy wherever. And the other thing is the head mount versus the chest mount. The chest mount is way better because when you put a head mount on, not only is it uncomfortable and wobbles a lot, when you turn your head, which you do a ton, you might not realize it in real life, and then you go back to this and you get super dizzy and stuff watching the video. It's just not as nice for people to watch. Then we've got like the suction cup mount, throw it on the windshield on the Lund, which is nice. And then some other stuff, we've got just this you can plug onto a tripod or whatever. I usually carry a tripod with me in the big boat, not the small boat though. And then you can get these adapters that are kind of turn your camera and get you to kind of face different directions and tilt it however you want to get it straight and steady. You can get those really cheap on Amazon, as well as basically most of this stuff that I use. This here is another one. I haven't used this. It came free with something, but it was it's a hat clip. You can clip it on your hat, throw a GoPro on. Again, I don't really prefer the head mounts, so I haven't really used that at all. This one here is really nice in the boat. You can plug that onto any of your basically your lights on your boat, which is nice because every boat has to have them legally, so it's always a spot that you can rely on boats. And then this is another thing, basically the same, however this is made of little clamps, and then I've just got the quarter 20 screw on the end, so I can throw basically one of these little adapters on and throw a GoPro on wherever I need with the clamp. Then basically the last thing over here is going to be a stick. I like to use this for doing underwater footage. You can get it for releases and stuff, as well as like following your baits underwater to get kind of cool footage of the baits themselves. And then the last thing, basically, from a mount that you can actually get is going to be the Gopro Gooseneck mounts. I like to use those to hang stuff over the side of the boat and stuff. As you can see, this is nice for like musky fishing and stuff. When you got the figure eights, you can always watch your bait go around, see strikes by the boat, as well as you're always right there to do a release in front of the camera. And then I've got another one up here. You can see on this pole here, I've got a piece of PVC hooked into the boat, just zip tied on a million times. And in there, I can slide in this little extendable post, so I can extend it however high or low I want. And then I have it so I can mount a couple of cameras on there. I've got the Joby mount up here, which I used to use for audio, but now I just have it extra so I can plug a GoPro onto there. And then another Gorillapod or Gorilla Gooseneck, whatever it is, onto there. And then I've got the cords just electric taped on down to here. I've got another little multi-cigarette port lighter, whatever, GoPro plug-in there that I plug into the battery way back here, which isn't in there right now. But that's basically the mounts that I use. That's the most important mount right there, because you can see yourself casting and everything, your hook sets, all that, the fight of the fish. And then these ones are kind of just backup to get the cool shots of your side stuff. Like I said, the flipping of fish in the boat, releasing it, stuff like that. And then your chest cam and everything else is all basically depending on what you want to mount your cameras in your boat for however you fish. Now, like I was saying, audio is a very important thing for filming. That's one of the advantages that a camera like the one I'm filming on right now has over a cell phone as well as GoPros. So audio is always an important thing to get, especially on the water. You get a lot of wind noise and everything, so it's nice to have some sort of microphone to silence that. Like I said, the one on here is the Rode VideoMic Pro with the deadcat for wind silencer on there, and that's a really nice thing. I've got that stuff linked in the description always, so you can go check that out. But the other stuff that I carry for audio is right here. I always got a couple pairs of headphones. I've got the nice ones here, and then just a little extra like $1 spare pair. That's nice because you can plug those right into the wireless mic that I use. This is the Saramonic SR-WM4C microphone. That's nice for videos like when I'm doing kind of how-tos and stuff on the water. I'm with another guy or something, I'll have them be the cameraman, and then I'll film that, showing you guys how to use this stuff, so that's always cool. And then the cameraman or whoever can throw those headphones on and always kind of get an idea of how the audio is, make sure the wind's not kicking in too much and stuff like that. So that's always really important. And then I've got the last thing for audio is just a small camera, plugs right into your GoPro. It is a little kind of, I don't remember the term of them, but it's just a little camera microphone that you can plug into your GoPro and hang on your chest or whatever. Plugs right into the camera, so it's not wireless. The thing I don't like though about plugging audio into GoPros is you gotta have these little adapters here which break like every time you use them. They'll get bent up at the ends and stuff, and it really ruins them. So that's one thing you gotta be careful of, but it's always important to get that good audio and stuff. So that is the audio stuff. So that is basically the ins and outs of the gear you need for filming fishing videos on the water. Like I said, a lot of GoPro stuff. So I will try to link a bunch of the stuff, the important stuff, in the description below. Also, like this video if you liked it. Leave a comment below if you have any questions, and we'll see you guys on the next episode, so be sure to subscribe.